Okay, so what if the smartest assistant in the world wasn't in some giant faraway data center, but was living right here in the palm of your hand? There's a huge shift happening with artificial intelligence right now. It's moving from the distant cloud directly onto the devices we use every single day. Today, we're breaking down how your AI is moving in.
And to really get this, let's start with a quote that just perfectly frames the promise of this whole new era. This is from Apple's Senior Vice President of Software Engineering, Craig Federici. He describes this new wave of AI as intelligence that's helpful, relevant, easy to use, all while, and this is the really important part, protecting their privacy. That right there is the core idea. Make AI way more personal, way more powerful, without you having to give up your personal data to do it.
So, where are we actually seeing this happen in the real world? Well, let's look at a massive recent example that really puts this idea front and center. We're going to use Apple's latest announcements as our main case study here. But, keep in mind, they are not alone in this. Companies like Google with their Pixel phones, Samsung, they're all pushing hard in this direction. This is a real industry-wide movement.
Now, what's so interesting about this isn't just the flashy new features, as cool as they are. I mean, real-time translation on a FaceTime call, a workout buddy that knows how to motivate you, that's great. But the real game changer is kind of hidden in that last bullet point. And this is a direct quote from their press release. These AI models run entirely on device.
And that, right there, is the actual headline. The most revolutionary new feature isn't some tool you can point to. It's all about the where and the how. It's the fact that all the heavy lifting, the actual thinking, is happening right there on your phone, not on some server hundreds of miles away.
So, to really get why this matters so much, we have to understand the fundamental difference between the old way and this new way. Let's break down the core concept, on-device AI versus its older cousin, cloud AI. So what exactly is on-device AI? Well, you might also hear it called edge AI, which is just a broader term for computing that happens closer to where the data is actually made. The European Data Protection Supervisor puts it perfectly. It's AI that runs directly on your devices, your smartphone, your watch, your car, right there. It's AI that literally lives with you, not in a warehouse somewhere. And this comparison just lays out the difference perfectly. Let's walk through it. With on-device AI, things are basically instant because there's no trip to a server and back. Privacy is way higher because your personal data, your photos, your messages, it never has to leave your phone. And this is a big one, it works even when you're offline. Now this is all possible because the chips in our pockets have gotten unbelievably powerful, right at the same time that we're all demanding better data privacy. That analogy at the bottom really says it all. It's the difference between having a genius right in your pocket versus having to call a supercomputer for help every single time. Okay, so Apple's big move is a clear signal. But to get the true scale of this change, we need to look at the massive market forces behind it. This is not just an Apple story. This is a huge industry-wide tectonic shift. And to really grasp that scale, well, let's follow the money. According to analysis from Markets and Markets, the global edge computing market, that's the whole ecosystem of local processing, is projected to be worth over $168 billion in 2025. I mean, to put that in perspective, that is more than the entire global video game market. So we're not just talking about phones here. This is smart factories, autonomous cars, the whole shebang. It's a massive valuation, and it shows you just how much money is pouring into this space. But just look at where it's headed. By 2030, that same market is forecast to jump to nearly $250 billion. That kind of growth is just staggering, and it signals a fundamental rewiring of our entire digital infrastructure. So what's fueling this absolute explosion? Well, the engine under the hood is the AI platform market itself. This is all the software and infrastructure that makes edge computing possible in the first place, and it's growing at a compound annual rate of almost 39%. That is an exponential curve. And of course, this isn't happening in a vacuum. You've got a whole ecosystem of tech giants building out this new world. You have chip makers like NVIDIA and Intel creating these incredibly specialized processors. You've got the big cloud players, AWS, Microsoft, Google, building out edge services. Dell and HP are making the hardware, and companies like Nokia and T-Mobile are creating the networks to support it all. Okay, billions of dollars, tech giants, market reports. It's all a bit abstract, right? But what does this actually feel like for you and me? Let's try to translate all this into a tangible human experience by looking at a potential day in the life.
So let's follow a scenario that's inspired by a report from the European Data Protection Supervisor. Let's call her Alice. Her AI alarm wakes her up early because it already saw she has an important meeting. Her car senses she's stressed in traffic and puts on some soothing music. Later on, her smart fridge suggests a comfort food dessert based on how she's feeling. This is the promise, right? Seamless, helpful, convenient. But here's the twist. The report also imagines her AI bed sending sensitive data about her sleep patterns to the company that made it, without her fully realizing it. So the point is, this new level of integration brings a whole new set of questions with it.
And that really brings us to the central question of this entire shift. On one hand, on-device AI promises this incredible personalized experience and, at least in theory, better privacy. But, as Alice's day shows us, it also creates this new kind of intimacy between technology and our lives, and that can create new vulnerabilities. So the question we're left with is this. Is this new era a simple upgrade, more convenience and more privacy, or is it actually a brand new kind of trade-off, one with consequences we haven't even begun to consider?